CBBC is unlike a traditional affordable housing developer in that the skill set of the managing members encompasses decades of affordable housing development, decades of community engagement, and decades of commercial investment in small business ownership. We are a unique team of individuals who then surround ourselves with professionals so that we can execute projects as complex and as difficult as this with the ability to know that we have a right team and a right level of preparation to address whatever the challenges that may come about.
It's a pleasure and a blessing to have this opportunity to be selected as one of the finalists for Invest Southwest on the west side of Chicago on Lake and Kedzie. We have been fighting for opportunity over 2 decades. And thank God, this mayor under Lori Lightfoot's administration, she heard the call of the people to ensure that everyone has a seat at the table. So it's a pleasure for me to introduce our team.
JGMA has been dedicated to the Invest Southwest program from the beginning, particular Invest Southwest project. The city has really opened up this competition nationally and internationally. And I think once again, this has given Chicago a chance to shine a bright light on what's good and what's great about our city.
We believe in a city where art and science work together, where citizens fall in love with all forms of life and celebrate kindness and respect for our living world and its climate.
We have experience thinking and building public landscapes in Chicago. Design excellence for us means working with community to build meaningful places toward environmentally and socially just neighborhoods.
We're absolutely thrilled and excited to be working with this design and development team. Our architecture always tries to connect with local context and local history, and so we're absolutely impressed to be working with the rich history of Garfield Park, of East Garfield Park, and with the thriving community and the community members we met there. And for us, it's an absolutely rewarding challenge to be working on a project that really matters and that really can make a difference.
The word that kept on reoccurring in our conversations was resiliency. We think about it in terms of how we've approached design of the building and using and wanting to have the highest level of green standards and wanting to create a space that's more than just housing, but also a place that creates opportunities. So we approached the Lake and Kedzie site, not looking for just one development site, but looking to transform that whole intersection. We looked at all 3 sites that the city has and thought about the needs and the requests of the community, from talking with different community groups, from talking to folks on the corner, from talking to individuals in the hatchery, and from talking to folks that have had a long-standing relationship with this community, including one of our managing members, Melvin. This site, we understand, is more than just one building, but it's really looking at how can we help and be part of the overall city goal of creating a 15-minute walking community. And we really approached this building and approached what we're looking at for how do we build the spaces and places to allow for the right mix of business, to allow for the right place of gathering, and allow for the type of quality home that's fit for the modern family that we're building for. This TOD development right off of the Green Line is the development site that the city has been fighting to push with the ETOD program that was recently passed. And we're really looking forward to being able to champion the next one of those developments, putting 52 units with commercial on the first floor. We want to see site 2 as the primary site of development, but then we will quickly and almost immediately look at developing the first 2 sites.
On site number 2, we have basically based our design on 2 main ideas and inspirations. The first one is the idea of the conservatory as a social space that nurtures and promotes growth. Instead of the typical double-loaded corridor, so typical in housing developments, we envision a central winter garden, a lush atrium filled with vegetation to promote social interaction. This green spine will connect from the street level to the rooftop in one continuous movement. Another part that's a very important source of inspiration for this project is the rich history of Garfield Park. We believe that contemporary architecture works best when it takes into account, respects, and seeks to understand its local history. We have these facades with depth and movement that generate windows that are not just perpendicular to the street, but also generate diagonal views. We have the upper floor set back to reduce the overall height of the volume. We have a fully commercial ground floor to obtain activity at street level.
Our project celebrates continuous street walls full of activities for residents, corners that are flexible enough for us to gather, shop, sing, and dance. To do this, we're widening sidewalks, creating plazas for outdoor dining, and including comfortable seating for everybody. We're bringing in new plants in all these plazas. The courtyards give residents a place for birthday parties, cooking out, or even watching movies at night.
We crafted 3 landscape priorities for Kedzie. First, imagine the neighborhood celebrating our native forests on the streets while teaching us with joy in everyday walk through educational strategies and displays and local street art the potential we have. Second, think about blocks where butterflies, birds, kids, runners, bikers, seniors work together to grow a colorful and striking and climate responsible community. And third, we are excited about building open corners for free expression as true places for a democratic society to emerge.
We've been fighting for opportunity for the past 2 decades to make sure that we can give them an opportunity to change their lives. If they give us that gun, we'll give them a hammer or a drill to change their lives. And that's our motto. And we know once they take that hammer or drill and get some viable skills in their life, they will not go back to the life of crime. And we want to make sure that we hear the community cry. So my job was to make sure I went door to door, talked to a lot of community residents, and asking them what's missing and fulfill that void. When they ask for a laundromat, we want to put a laundromat there. When they ask for a coffee shop, we want to bring them a coffee shop.
The project will be financed with low-income housing tax credits, other soft funding, a private first mortgage, and grants that we would look to secure, whether for helping to build the building or to go directly to the tenants and building out spaces for their commercial or retail spaces, or to help their small businesses get open and operated within that building. All of the units will be affordable. All of the units will be designed to meet the needs of modern families.
We have the best team, which is the Dream Team. And Dream Team make the team work so we can bring some viable opportunities to our community with continued disinvestment of the lack of opportunity. And we ensure to make sure that everyone has a chance despite of their economic background.